So today, what we call scientific technology, engineering, and mathematics is very important, but clearly it is said that curricula overstuffed on factual content, that we have more and more topics, and few are removed, that the pedagogy is getting quite old, text-based or factual recall, and the content is not really relevant for today's pupils' lives and future careers. And therefore, today as well, we should use technology in the classroom because our students are clearly different. Their needs are different as well, and the contemporary world is changing very fast. I'd like to, again, insist on this sentence. If we teach today and we taught yesterday, we rob our children of tomorrow. It was said yesterday, and I think it's a very important sentence. Today, smart technology is a leading global provider of interactive solutions. We've invented the interactive whiteboard that you can see here in 1991, and today leading the game with 45% market share and 64% in South Africa. We're a Canadian company based in Calgary, very different than here, very cold. And we like to support different research projects across Europe, Middle East, and Africa, and share educational experiences that can change and improve teaching and learning. As an example, I'd like to state one initiative that is currently happening in Europe. It's the Ingenious Program. I don't know if some of you know it, but it's really launched and managed by European Schoolnet, and I would love to see such an initiative here in Africa. The Ingenious Program role is to create strategic partnerships between industries, ministries of education, in order to explore innovative ways of increasing student interest and enrollment in STEM-related subjects. It's also identify and share teaching practices developed by industry to communicate the value of STEM and stimulate young people's interest in STEM subjects. In a nutshell, this is creating jobs. And the objective of this project, of this Ingenious project, is to link the industries and the education related to STEM to create jobs and to understand what other industry needs and how could we support that. It'd be great if we can see such a project here in Africa, where we can also, where the needs are different, link the industries and the education. And we would definitely support that. We also have a lot of solutions to support STEM education. Although our catalog's quite big, we'd like to focus maybe on 2 different solutions. And here I'll be helped by Norman, over there, our education consultant. And the first one that I want to present, and maybe Norman, you can help us out, is notebook math tools.
Right, as far as notebook math tools is concerned, within math tools is another application called Maths Inc. And if you simply go to the screen and you had to write an equation, and in this case we'll take you back to your high school days, and for some of us we might not, I think that's rather pretty far away. If we recognize that, we can go to the drop-down menu and we recognize that as Maths Inc. It's going to take a little time, it seems. It's typical technology. There we go. Right, once it's selected, we then can go and generate a graph using our maths actions. And you can see there it'll take that particular equation and change it into a graph. So we know now that that there is linked to that particular graph. All right, you could take a second one if you would like to.
Why not, yeah.
Right, and let's make it y equals sine x. Once again, we will recognize it using Maths Inc. And once it's selected, we can take that and superimpose it over the other graph, and you can see, you can make a direct comparison between the 2 equations.
It took you 30 seconds to show that. Quite impressive. Now, for the next one, also another application that could be interesting for biology or for any case of users, to we talked about how visual learning can be, and 3D tools could be quite interesting. Why do you take us through that?
I think traditionally in the teaching world we've relied upon posters and just using our projector to view 2D applications or 2D pictures. But with the mixed reality and within Notebook, it's actually very, very interesting to see how you can make use of a 3D object, and in that case it was the ear, but in this case now we can bring that ear and make it a 3D object in which we can rotate. So once again, we can take the children from just a 2D object, and we can now start rotating that object and looking inside the ear in depth, so we can get a general perspective of where different items are. And obviously using your label lines as well, we could make use of highlighting certain areas of the ear and rotating it at the same time. So we get a three-dimensional view of that particular object. And obviously going into other applications, we can find 3D objects that we can manipulate and create a better understanding of that particular subject.
Great, Norman. Thank you very much. What if I have a physical object?
Physical object, we have something called a document camera, where you can then engage that straight from your notebook software. And in this case here we have a leaf. I'm just going to move over there and zoom it in for you so that you can all see. Right, so if we were studying the leaf now, I'm just going to focus that for you. Right, once we're having a view of that particular leaf, we can take a snapshot of that. It might be an experiment in science. We can take a snapshot of that, reduce it a little, place it or park it somewhere on our work area, and once again engage the camera. And so through a process, you might be going through a science experiment or something, so you would have a step-by-step sequential approach to this particular thing.
Thank you, Norman. That was very informative. So clearly today, we'd like to create exciting opportunities for students to explore math and science concepts. Now, this is really what I wanted to say about math and science concepts. I just have maybe just 2 seconds left, because I've been hearing a lot of different presentations, and if we can actually go to the next one. And I heard a lot about budget, especially from Honorable Ministry from Burundi. I wanted to point out that this software that you have just seen, that you're seeing using, is also possible as another. We also have another software that is free, lightweight, and downloadable. That's called the Notebook Interactive Viewer, that will enable people to see any type of content that has been developed on a smartboard anywhere in the world, and any usage on any type of device, whether it's a computer, tablet, interactive whiteboard, or anything, and interact with the content as well. So that was just one answer towards the challenges that I've received. Another one is also creating the community, which is very important. We talked about collaboration more and more. We talked about exchanging with the world. Today, Smart Exchange is a community site where people are posting content that is available free of charge from everywhere around the world. So a teacher here in South Africa could exchange with a teacher in Malawi, or the States, or France, and collaborate with others, and therefore get content from others and engage students and share lessons and other resources. So that's also 2 answers that we had and that I listened from the different presentations that I got today. I'd like to thank you very much for listening.